Hey guys, if you're watching this, chances are you're like me when I first started skateboarding. You'll probably want to know how to set up your own skateboard, and we'll do that in this section right now. Well, we all got to start somewhere, and first we're going to start off with setting up a new deck, trucks, and wheels. And then after that, we'll be ready to roll. All right, when you come in, you got two choices. You can buy a complete skateboard, it's already set up, it's ready to go, or you can choose any deck, any wheel, any trucks, and you can set up yourself. Well, the second choice may seem tough to do, but in reality, it's kind of simple, and we're going to show you how to do it. Soon, you'll find your own way to tune your boards, and you'll have the freedom of customizing your board the way you like it. Setting up a new board is one of those things that you learn by watching, so look closely as I set up my new board. Right now, we're going to show you all the tools you need to complete your new setup. First, you're going to have a metal file. Then you're going to have a safety knife with a fresh blade. Then you're either going to have a Phillips screwdriver or an Allen key for your mounting hardware. And if you're completely prepared, you got a skate tool. It's got all the necessary components on it. You could have a drill as well, and a good work area that you can get dirty. This goes on your deck first. It's grip tape. It usually comes in full length sheets when you buy a board. Right, first you'll want to pull the backing off the full sheet and place it on the top of your board. It doesn't have to fit over the board perfectly, but just make sure it goes over all the edges. Next you'll want to place the board on the ground and walk all over it, making sure the grip tape is stuck on good. If you notice any air bubbles in the grip tape, you can pop them with something sharp. Next, take your file and firmly trace it along the outline of the board shape and right into the deck's edge. This gives you a guideline to cut the excess grip tape off, and also makes it easier to cut. Now this next step involves using the safety blade, so if you're too young to use it, go get an adult to help you out with it. Alright, now grab the safety knife, holding the blade 45 degrees to the edge, come up from the bottom side of the grip, cut along the line you just filed, and trim the excess tape off. If you do this right, it should cut a lot like hot knife through butter, no effort whatsoever. You want to be careful not to trim so deep that you cut into the board. Once you've cut off the excess grip, give the board a light run over with the file or the excess grip tape to secure up any raised edges. Now we're ready to move on to the next step. Alright, well the board's now gripped and we're ready to set the trucks up. First what we want to do is we want to poke holes through the grip for the mounting hardware. Be careful when you're poking the holes, you don't poke yourself. Take the mounting bolts and push them through the truck holes on the board. There are 4 for each truck. Make sure the truck bushings and kingpins are facing each other towards the middle of the board when they are both mounted. Now tighten them with the nylon inserted lock nuts and tighten them down snug with the screwdriver and Allen key, depending on what kind of hardware you got and the 3/8 nut driver. Repeat this process with the other truck. Make sure not to over tighten your hardware, but rather have it just sit snug on top of your grip tape. Now we're on to getting the bearings onto the wheels. I find that the softer wheels are fairly easy to pop the bearings onto, and the harder ones take a little more muscle. So here's what you do. Drop one of the bearings onto the truck axle and press the bearing into the wheel using your hand pushing down on the wheel. It is important not to rush the step and to make sure that they are in the wheel all the way. Do the same for the other bearing, as there's 2 bearings for each wheel. Most quality trucks have 2 thin washers on each axle. These are mounted on the outside of the bearing to help your bearing spin and last longer. They're also easy to lose, so keep on the lookout. When the wheel is sitting flush on the hanger, carefully thread the nut onto the end, making sure it goes on the right thread. And you'll want to tighten it just snug so the wheel spins freely. Just about ready to go skate, but we got to do some fine tuning first. I like to stand on the board just to see how the trucks turn before heading out. This takes some adjusting to your comfort level and the type of skating you're into, but a rule of thumb is to adjust your trucks to what feels good for you. I'd like to suggest taking a skate tool with you because new trucks will need some tightening early in their first session. That wasn't too hard now. You got your new board? What are you waiting for? Let's go skate!